In this lesson, we're going to take a look at how to organize and manage large sessions. The first step that I do when I get a session from a client is organize it in the way that it's manageable and that it's visually appealing to me before I even start working. And the reason for that is because I want to make sure that I know what's there all in one glance. And I'm going to show you how to do that using keyboard shortcuts. But as you can see, the session has a lot of tracks. You can scroll down. There's a lot of cuts, a lot of clips, but I'm not really sure what I'm looking at. Also, the thing that's bothering me about this is that there are so many time rulers here. There's time code 2, frames, samples. I don't need any of that information really. All I need to know is minutes and seconds, bars and beats, and maybe markers if it's applicable. So for one thing, I'll go to this drop-down menu, and you can deselect the ones that don't pertain to how you want to organize the session. That's one way to do it. Or you can use Option on a Mac or Alt on a PC and click on these panes and they will go away. So we'll eliminate everything except for bars and beats, minutes and seconds, and markers. Good. So that piece is done. Great. Now let's also adjust the height of the track so we can see them all in one window. And for this, you want to make sure that you have this A through C button on. And then using your computer keyboard, you're going to hit Control Option Command or Control Alt Command on a PC and hit the down arrow. And this pretty much shrinks the height so that everything fits in one window. And that's a really good keyboard shortcut to memorize. The other thing that I don't like about this session is that I have the track names on the clips. So it tells me kick 0107, this is 08, kick 0103, and then I also have this little volume slider. And I don't need to see all that. I want to eliminate that. So in order to do that, you're going to go to View, Clip, and deselect Name. And it's going to remove the clip name from the clip. And then we'll also do that for these faders. So let me go here to Clip, Clip Gain Info. There it is. So it's the clip gain and the clip names. We're not looking at that. Now it's actually more appealing to look at. Let's jump into our mixer. So we'll choose Command equals or Control equals on a PC. And the same thing is here. I have way too much information to look at. The mixer itself doesn't even fit in this window. So for this, you have a drop-down menu here on the bottom left. Click on that. And you can deselect which views you don't want to see. Or you can choose Minimal. Let's choose Minimal. And then add the views that we do want to see. Well, for one thing, we do want to see inserts, A through E. Again, we also want to see sends, A through E. And that's it for now. You can also choose to view comments. Let's say that you want it to apply comments. But depending on the size of your computer or your window, you might not even see those comments there. So let's just go ahead and remove comments for now. Okay. Now here on the mixer, I can see that I have drums, kick, snare, hi-hat, rag tom, floor tom, overheads, drum room, shaker. Then I have instruments. So I have a bass guitar, acoustic guitar, all my guitars, and then lastly the lead vocals. And then this green track is a effects track. So this has reverb on it. So the first thing that I like to do before I even start mixing is color coding my mixer so that I know that, hey, all the red tracks are going to be drums. You know, all the yellow tracks are going to be guitars or instruments. Okay, the pink track or the red track, depending on how you color code it, it's going to be that type of instrument. So I'm going to select the last track, which is going to be shaker. Hold Shift on my computer and click the first track, which is going to be kick. It's going to select them all. And I'm going to double click on this color pane. Now, if you don't see that, you want to make sure that you have track color on. Otherwise it looks like that, and that's even worse. Make sure track color on, double click on the color. There it is. And you have this color palette, and you can adjust the saturation, the brightness, but most importantly, they can choose which color. So let's say that we're going to color our drums somewhere around this burgundy red. Okay, good. So we'll choose bass guitar and choose a different color. Okay, we'll choose that. We'll select our guitars, again holding Shift. Let's give them a yellowish color, not too bright. This orange, I like that one. And then lastly, the lead vocal, which is going to be the most important thing in the mix. So for that, I'm going to give it a color that's pretty obvious. Let's just go with this one. There we go. The effects will leave green. And we'll close this window. There we go. Now if we jump from our mixer back into our main edit window, you can see that the track color changed here. But the clip colors remained independent. Now you can also choose to view the clip colors to match the track color. But I find that it's a little bit more distracting than helpful. The other thing that you'll notice about this particular session is that there's a lot of cuts. There's a lot of cuts on every track. And that too can be distracting. One of the common practices is to edit and consolidate as you go. So I know for sure this session has been edited properly. And once my edits are done, then I can select the entire clip. So I'm going to choose Command A or Control A on a PC. That's going to choose all the clips that pertain to that track. And then you're going to choose Edit, Consolidate Clip. And it's going to write a new waveform with those cuts eliminated. So now it's a clean waveform or clip from beginning to end. Let me undo that real quick. So this is what it looked like before. This is what it looks like after. Now it looks like it just eliminated those cuts. Let me undo that. It looks like it just eliminated those cuts. But what you actually do when you choose Consolidate Clip, it writes a new waveform or a new file to the session. And you'll see that being performed here on the right. It will actually create a new clip. There it is, Kick02. So again, using our keyboard shortcut that we learned, Control Option Command down arrow, and we'll do that for all the clips. So you can click on this gray area, double click to select all the tracks, and then Edit, Consolidate Clip. Now mind you, you want to do this only after all your edits are properly done. If you're not sure whether there's pops and clicks in the recording, or let's say you accidentally deleted a consonant on a vocal track, you don't want to consolidate clips, because what you do is you're creating a new file and the old file is no longer there. So you only want to do consolidate clip once your edits are perfectly done or you're completely happy with it. Then you choose consolidate clip. So we'll choose consolidate clip. Once it's finished rendering, we have a better looking session with all the clips in place from beginning to end. Another thing that you can do to organize your clips, let's say that you recorded multiple guitar takes. So I'm going to give you this example. Let's say that this high guitar, which happens here, this green clip and this orange clip, let's say that they are two different takes. And I like this take better than this one. Now I don't want to delete that because I want to have that as a backup. So one thing that you can do in Pro Tools is go to the track itself, right click, and choose Make Inactive. And you'll see that the track itself will be grayed out, italicized, and the clip itself will be grayed out compared to this one. And that's one way that you can keep that track in the session but not have it play live by accident. And the next step, which is the next step further, is to hide that track. So you can right click and choose Hide. So you might be wondering, where did it go? We'll click on this button to show and hide tracks. And here's your track list. And by clicking on this dot, you can show or hide any amount of tracks. There we go. You can even hide all the tracks. However, if I hit play, all the tracks that are active are going to play back audio, and the tracks that are not active, like this one, are not going to play back audio. Let's go ahead and show everything. So showing and hiding tracks is a great way to manage sessions, especially if you want to keep your backup takes and you don't want to delete them. You might have to reference them at one point or another. And if you want to activate that track again, you can just right click and choose Make Active. And there it is. It's back live in the session. So those are some ways that you can manage and organize large sessions before you start mixing or editing your project.